Today we'll be talking about Pixar's revolutionary high-speed animated feature, Cars. Starring Owen Wilson and Paul Newman, not Randy Newman. He did the music. Directed by, of course, the legendary John Lasseter. Welcome back to the Grindhouse Podcast! Today we'll be talking about the 2006 pretty decent hit known as Cars. Pixar's fast-paced automotive masterpiece, I guess, because it's the only one they really, I guess, got right, because the Planes movies did not do really well.
And I don't recall if Cars 2 or Cars 3 did very well.
Cars 2 is infamous for being one of the most hated movies ever, despite the fact that it's one of my favorite Pixar movies, because I think it's absolutely a blast. And Cars 3, I think, just kind of fell by the wayside.
Maybe.
I don't know who was... Because I tried to watch it, I got interrupted, and I never really went back to it, kind of thing, you know?
I guess we'll have to go back to it, because I don't think I've seen Cars 3.
I don't know if you have or not. We haven't watched it. But I am your host, Cheese Film, and joined with me today is the legendary wife of Cheese Film?
I'm wife of Cheese Film. I'm your wife.
Is that how you want to go by?
Yeah, I'll go by wife of Cheese Film.
Okay.
Wife of Cheese Film or Miss French Tattoos. Those are your options.
Well, which one do you want? Or Twisted Tattoos?
I mean, I prefer wife of Cheese Film for the podcast.
Sure.
That's literally what I am.
Okay.
So I'm going to be wife of Cheese Film.
The wife of Cheese Film.
That's me. I need to draw some art for me.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
I'll get there.
I've been using your...
My Luca picture?
Yeah.
Which is sick, but also, I need to draw some art for me. One of these days.
But we're talking about a movie that I have said on the pod that I'm not a big fan of, and we watched it a couple days ago to refresh because I haven't seen this since 2007.
Oh, I've seen it a couple times since then, but
this was not a movie I was a fan of.
Really?
I just wasn't. I'm not a car guy, at all.
Right, but
and
I think you can enjoy it not being a car guy.
I'm not a racing guy. I don't care about racing. And I'm not a Midwestern America guy. And
yeah,
I'm not a backwater town guy.
Yeah, I guess it does miss all your marks. Every single mark, it misses for you. But generally speaking, it's got a lot of really good elements for lesson learning and for family orientation, as well as cars. Yeah, if you really are into cars, you'll be able to enjoy seeing the different makes and models and things like that. Mm-hmm. But ultimately, I think that Cars is just a great family movie with a great, story model and things like that, where the once you get past the fact that they're all sentient automobiles, I think it's great.
And I mean, by 2006, the whole sentient automobile, it wasn't a big hill to get over.
Right.
I mean, Disney had cartoons from the 40s with sentient cars.
Right.
Which I believe this pulled a lot of inspiration from, or the warplanes.
Right.
That's one of my favorite. The dad B-52 bomber comes home and mom just gave birth to her little baby bomber boy, and they're just fun. This, I believe, was Joe Rant's last movie.
Oh, really?
He's been around on the pod doing a lot of these Pixar movies, and I believe this was his last one before he died in a car accident.
Oh.
But that being said, I think this going back to the film, I think this is a pretty good movie. I had a better time with it as an adult than I did as a kid, and I enjoyed it a lot better as an adult than I did as a kid.
And the subtle little, there's not a lot of, adult hints or themes in there, but, there's a couple, and they're all, and, when you do notice them, you're like, oh, you know what I mean?
But it's also slow. It's about a race car having to slow down.
Right.
And basically smell the flowers.
Yeah.
He's shown what life is like
not
on the other side.
Yeah, not living for just speed and nothing else.
Yeah. And we don't really get his backstory at all.
No, I mean, just that he's a young race car.
But I feel like he was meant to be somebody who came from a nothing town. It was a nobody in a nothing town. Rusty's gave him a big break, and now he's trying to be the Dynaco
I got you.
spokesman, like the cream of the crop.
Yeah, he is a rookie. I think this is his first race, or it's something like his first race.
Yeah.
And because he's doing so well, he wants to make history. He wants to be the first rookie to win a Piston Cup. And things like that, where, yeah, I mean, you don't get a ton of Lightning McQueen backstory because I guess he's a younger car, so there's not much of a backstory to be had. Bringing up the point of how are their baby cars?
They go to the dealership,
I guess,
and adopt a baby car.
Did you notice there's not a single like baby car, not a single like young car?
I did not.
Like if you looking at every character, even the background characters, the youngest looking cars are those two twins.
Okay, I couldn't really tell the age of these cars.
Well, that's kind of my point, though, is that it's funny, like, thinking about that type of deal. There's a lot of conspiracy theories around it, too. I mean, think about the fact there's a car pope, which
and
alludes
the car
to
Pope-mobile.
Means that there alludes to a car Jesus.
Who got car Jesus crucified?
Who got car crucified? Yeah, like things like that, where you're just kind of like,
how does this world exist?
Yeah, like how does this world work?
Especially with the Pixar theory, like where in the timeline this happens, because I believe it happens after WALL-E. Like, humanity just kind of completely dies out, and this cross genetic new hybrid breed comes out of just humanoid cars.
Yep. I think it might have been a film theory I was watching where like the assessment is that they might be insects. Like,
the bugs are? I mean the cars are?
Like the cars are like a weird species of insect.
Of bugs?
Because they have a hard shell and squishy insides that you don't see. You know what I mean?
They got bugs though. They got little car bugs.
Well, that's kind of, it helps allude to it. You know, like it
would be kind of cool that like this entire world takes place on like a speck of dust on a NASCAR tire.
Well, and part of me thought that because like when you look at it, I just looked it up. It's called Cadillac Range. It's the mountains in the background of most of the scenes in Radiator Springs where all the cars are. What is it? It's the shaped like car hoods. It's called Ornament Valley near Radiator Springs. They're shaped like quarter panels of the 50s Cadillacs.
Yeah.
So it makes me wonder if like all these cars are microscopic. Like
if
those are like dust covered, like time with weathered cars.
Oh, and
of our time
taking place down here,
and everything's taking place like beep.
That'd
like,
be really interesting.
Teeny tiny. I mean, I don't know, but like that's kind of part of like the Pixar theory is like this is a young, budding species that's creating life, basically. Like
and like when you really start to think into it and try to apply logic to the world of cars, it all falls apart real fast. Like who built Flo's drive-in?
Right.
If gas is refreshing, is it gas or is it just oil?
Right.
Is it like what? Because like when Mater's sleeping, he's got like instead of doing the little snot bubble snoozing or the drool, he's got his oil coming out of him. And he snorts it back up.
Yep.
He's about to spit on Lightning McQueen. What's he spitting?
Right.
You know? Like, they have tongues.
Yeah, you kind of got to suspend your disbelief a little bit. This is back to the whole sentient cars thing. Suspend your disbelief, where we just kind of... It's as though we've been turned into cars. I think is what it boils down to, is that, like, there would be a car cheese film. You know what I'm saying? Like, type of situation where, like...
I would love that.
Like, it's... Because if there's a car Pope and all these car characters, you know what I mean? Like, there's a car Steve Jobs. Like, there's all kinds of...
The the credit roll has the Pixar movies remade into cars.
Right.
And, like, everybody came back to reprise their role, and they had the whole joke with John Ratzenberger there watching it, going, hey, yeah, he's pretty cool. And then ending with, I just get the same guy to do a different role. It's not doing anything.
Right. And that's, it feels very, so instead of trying to, piece it into the Pixar theory, my brain kind of just suspends my disbelief of like, this is like a magical world where everybody got turned into a car.
The Pixar theory doesn't really work for me.
Right.
Like, at all. It just doesn't, like, the Easter eggs and the nods here and there are fun to find, but like, it just doesn't hold water because it's or if when it does, it's like a plastic bag and like you can just easily poke a hole through it.
Right.
I kind of like the idea more of it's a Pixar. It's a book, and each story is just another page in this book.
Yeah.
You know, so like that's why it's all very familiar, and you're seeing a lot of the same things, is because it's the same words being used by the same storyteller kind of thing. I don't know.
Right. No, I get you. I'm looking at this, and one of the fun facts is literally the insides of any vehicle aren't seen at all in the movie and its subsequent entries. The closest you come is the cargo hold of the Dynacoke helicopter carrying Mater at the end of the first one. And even then, you don't see the cockpit. You only see the cargo hold.
Yeah,
so
and like Mac's trailer, the trailer isn't sentient.
Yeah, their doors never open, their handles are never used, their windows are always opaque. In addition, no convertibles with open roofs appear at all in the franchise. This clearly fits the concept of a world without humans, as living cars do not need seats or passenger compartments. It is safe to imply that they're not all hollow.
Gross.
Yeah.
And I've seen like the dissection picture, like the cross dissection. It's like the brain, the mouth, stomach, and stuff.
Yeah.
But it is kind of interesting to think about, like how the world got here.
Yeah.
Like even if they are microscopic in our world, car Jesus. When did that
car
exist?
Jesus is crazy.
You know, because Henry Ford invented the car, so was car Jesus Henry Ford's son? You know what I mean?
This is where we have to suspend our disbelief.
Yeah.
It's got to be a kids movie about living cars.
Yeah.
This was a great toy sales movie.
Yes, it was. It really was. And did you know this movie came out on VHS? VHS was still around when this movie came out.
I did not know that. I do know. It's the 7th Disney Pixar film, and it was the last film released by Pixar before it was bought by Disney.
I feel like we say that every single
I think it was
time.
the last one, though.
Like, I feel like we've said that.
It's very possible.
With every single one of these movies.
That's so funny. It does say that. I don't know. It could be.
But so did The Incredibles.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know.
The Incredibles said this was the last one before the acquisition.
I don't know. Maybe.
And hang on.
Whatever.
I'm gonna look that up. I'm gonna just go ahead and look that up because I don't know where that is coming from. Because again, this isn't the first time I've heard that being said, and this isn't the first time I said, but that was the last one.
Right. That's true. That's okay. Well,
No, you keep talking.
Well, that's okay. So while you look that up, many well-known racers make appearances in Cars, including Richard Petty, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Mario Andretti, Michael Schumacher, Bob Costas, Darrell Waltrip, and Jay Leno. There's at least one reference to Arnold Schwarzenegger and Elvis.
The Arnold one, I think, was because he was the governor at the time.
Right. It says he's not voiced by Arnold himself. Let's see. It was. This is the last Pixar film to have a full screen format for its U.S. home release. Oh gosh, there's so many cool. It's the first Pixar film that used the word hell.
Yeah, I pointed that out.
We noticed. We immediately called that out. We said, "Huh? Excuse me." Ooh, caught my phone. I hope nobody saw that. Let's see. It took 17 hours to render each frame of the film, on average. In addition, it was the first Pixar film to use ray tracing to accurately create the reflections on the cars, which is pretty sick. Cars was originally going to be called Route 66, which would make a lot of sense because that's where the location that it takes place. The release title was chosen to avoid confusion with the 1960s TV series of the same name and working title.
So, I mean, according to Google, this was, but I swear, like, when we did The Incredibles... We
might have said it before. I'm going to be honest.
That was something that was said. And then we did it again with, like, both Bugs Life.
Yeah, I don't... Maybe.
But I guess they had a distribution deal. You know, it's from the beginning. They were all distributed by Disney. And they probably had a decent say in some of this stuff, you know. But, yeah, that's pretty cool that this was the last one...
Before it got bought out.
Officially.
Until next week. I don't know how many times we've said it.
Hear that again, you know?
We might have said it like 65 times at this part. But yeah. All the Piston Cup racer tires are Lightyear tires. That's the name of the brand. It like kind of halfway between Goodyear and Buzz Lightyear.
Well, it's just Buzz Lightyear.
Could just be Buzz Lightyear, but also probably references the Goodyear tires without using Goodyear as the actual brand.
Yeah, but I mean, like, Lightyear.
right.
Like, you couldn't even say, like, Lightning You know, Lightning, Goodyear. No, Buzz Lightyear is his name.
That's true.
And they're known for their Easter eggs, you know. I think that's a more direct reference than just...
Chick Hicks's number is 86 in the reference to the year Pixar was founded.
Cool.
And Lightning McQueen's number is 95 as a reference to the year Toy Story was released in theaters. McQueen's original number was 57, the year Pixar CEO John Lasseter was born.
What was Doc's number? That 51?
It was like 51. I don't think it has any. It as of right now doesn't have any relevance. If I find it.
So at the beginning, I said this movie stars 2 people, even though the cast is quite large.
Cast is huge.
I'm just gonna go through a couple of them here. So Owen Wilson is Lightning McQueen. Paul Newman is Doc Hudson. Somebody we haven't talked on the show yet, but Paul Newman was an everyman. Like he did. He was a racer. You know, he was a. What are you looking at?
Oh, excuse me. I was nothing. I'm good.
Oh. He was a political activist. He was a actor. He acted in several movies. This is the first one we're talking about. He was a pretty legendary guy. He was a philanthropist. Bonnie Hunt is Sally. Larry the Cable Guy, which I find to be funny, and I'm gonna put a pin in this right now because I think back in the Ernest movie I asked a question. And I referenced him, and I think I'm going to come back to that.
Okay.
Let's see. Cheech Marin was Ramon. George Carlin, who I didn't think that was, is Fillmore, the Volkswagen pug.
That's pretty
Are you
funny.
familiar with George Carlin?
The comedian, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Paul Dudley is Sarge. Jennifer Lewis is Flo. Michael Keaton is Chick. And who was King? I'm trying to find King.
He did not have very many voice lines.
Jay Leno was Jay Leno.
That's pretty funny.
Anyway, but
Jay Limo, duh.
But he wasn't a limo.
It doesn't matter. That was his.
Jay Leno's a huge car guy, like huge
Jay
car
Limo.
guy.
Pretty funny.
But yeah, no, like this movie, and like you said, a whole bunch of different
tons of Easter eggs.
Race car drivers.
Yeah, tons of race car drivers. Tons of hidden things. They really tried to hide everything in here.
Of course, Tom Hanks, Tim Allen, Billy Crystal, John Goodman, Dave Foley, and John Ratzenberger all reprised roles. I think John Ratzenberger also plays the Rusty's guy, one of the Rusty's
It's
guys.
possible.
I don't know if he's credited, but man, sounds just like him. But when we talked about Ernest Scared Stupid, I said you don't see a lot of... Because Ernest is a character.
Mm-hmm.
What's his name? Now I forgot it. But the guy who plays Ernest was a comedian.
Right.
Had a character, Ernest.
Right.
Who is your blue-collar, run-of-the-mill, everyday guy.
Right.
And that character got a bunch of movies. Like, they made movies for that character.
Right.
Which is not something... that's very common really at all anymore, except for Larry the Cable Guy. Larry the Cable Guy is a character that I'll get his real name, hang on, because they don't credit him in this movie as his name. They call it's credited as Larry the Cable Guy, who is Daniel Lawrence Whitney.
Okay.
Who is I think he's from Montana. Doesn't talk like that. Like, that's a character. He's doing a voice. He's doing a role.
Right.
Based on, I think, people he knows. You know, but like that, the whole, like, him, that whole thing, Larry's not a real guy. You know, like, it's cool to think about. And it just worked. Like, the whole, like, his get her done catchphrase, like, that's synonymous with that kind of redneck hillbilly kind of stuff, the deep south flannel wearing trucker cap, blue jeans, you know, like the kind of lovable redneck.
Right.
It's just a character that this guy made up. Yeah. And so it's cool to see him being recognized as that, like it's its own thing. He's wearing a mask kind of thing. It's a hat on a hat almost. But you don't see that. You like and we don't have we don't have things like that. Like Gabriel Iglesias doesn't have a character he plays on stage that gets roles. You know, Gabriel Iglesias just gets roles as Gabriel Iglesias.
Right.
Who's another funny stand-up comic that I like?
I mean, there's a bazillion of them now.
Yeah, but like Norm Macdonald doesn't have had a character. He just was Norm.
Right.
George Carlin didn't really have a character. He was just George Carlin.
Right.
So it's cool. Like, I guess
the caricature of it, almost.
It's so you do such a good job playing that character. That character is who's got his own identity. Like Larry the Cable Guy, and finding out that Larry the Cable Guy was like Guy Fieri. It's a character
right?
thing, you know what I mean?
Well, and that you build off of a brand.
It's the persona, and that like he is that now, but like the shoes still come off. He still goes
to bed not as Guy Fieri, or goes to bed not as Larry the Cable Guy.
Yeah, like Cheech Marin is Cheech.
You're right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's who he is. I don't think that's a character. That's just who he is.
Right.
Just stuff like that, and then just to get, it's really a compliment more than everything else. Is that a character you created is so popular and so well loved and beloved and influential that it becomes
part of your personality.
Just everything.
Yeah.
You know, it's cool. It's really
I feel
cool.
like that would be really awesome, but also partially the worst. Because then you are only known to be that character, which I guess I understand because I compare it kind of to like the guy from Smash Mouth. Like, you now are known for the Shrek song. You're the Shrek song guy. You know what I mean?
Absolutely hate that.
Like,
you know that?
Well, I'm sure they do. I'm 100% sure they do. Well, now he's dead. Rest in peace. But like, you become known as like the guy who sings the Shrek song, like, or the guy who sings this one song. You know what I mean? Like, especially if it's used in like a very popular movie.
Mm.
Like,
well, it's kind of what kickstarted their career, and I'm not a big Smash Mouth fan, but Shrek put them on my map.
Right. Well, and that's kind of where I was going with it. It's like they had already had a couple of hits before Shrek, and then Shrek came out. They bought, I guess, the rights to use that song, and now that's it. Like that, you're known as the Shrek dudes forever. Type of situation.
I'm not gonna look that up. I kind of wanted to know if that song came out prior to, or if Shrek was the vehicle to get that.
I'm pretty sure it was out first, but
it might have been. I'm not a big Smash Mouth guy, but I do know that I read somewhere that he was like, we were gonna be the next Beatles, but Shrek kind of capped our career because everybody knows this is the Shrek song guy.
You're right.
Shrek was huge. Shrek is a movie we should talk about, but Shrek was absolutely huge. But some things I enjoyed about this movie, genuinely enjoyed. Number one, the animation in this movie is perfect.
It's beautiful.
It is like the backgrounds in this movie are full of life, even though a lot of this takes place in a desert. It's so rich. The colors are unbelievable, especially when you're going from, like, The Incredibles looks like a Stretch Armstrong or like a toy. Like your toys are on screen. This movie looks photoreal. Like, even now, I know I'm looking at a cartoon, but like
especially a lot of the detailing on the cars, the reflectiveness of the cars, it's the background work,
unbelievable.
It's
the color alone, how lightnings shine, that red, how it just envelops such a deep, saturated, almost like the perfect apple.
And they also had the sparkly red, like when he got sprayed by Ramon.
Yeah,
he got the like beautiful sparkle red.
Never noticed that until this watching.
And it's gorgeous, and like everything looks so good. Every time Ramon changes his like whole fit or his like whole paint job,
it's
he also looks great
of those colors.
Yeah,
like when Sally and Lightning are driving through the shady wooded, like I can feel the cool air in the shade.
Yeah.
When the splash of the water, like they did it. You know what I mean? Because as they're building this animation company, as they're building these techniques, it like we take it for granted now, you know. Cars 3, when I saw the trailer for that, I was like, wow, that looks really good. But watching this movie, it's on par with that.
It still looks great. I mean, and like looking at some of these facts of like how everything was rendered is crazy. Smash Mouth's All-Star came out in 1999, by the way.
Yeah, but Shrek didn't come out until 2001.
So it was out first, is what I was saying.
Yeah, but who remembers 1999?
Anyway, whack. So
is that not that song? The Bowling for Soup song?
Yeah, you mean 1985?
That's what it was.
Dummy.
1999.
But like, just I guess for example, the opening race at Motor Speedway of the South contained 60,000 seated cars and an additional 700 cars in the infield and aisles.
Intense.
Right. Despite, which is funny because the character Daryl, one of the like hosts, mentioning that the attendance being nearly 200,000 cars. There's only visibly 60,000. And then 100,000 cars were seated at the Los Angeles International Speedway during the final race, plus an additional nearly 1,500 cars in the infield. Nearly 13,000 cars were entering Los Angeles International Speedway to find seats. Like, they rendered 60,000 cars. Like, individual little dudes.
They look like cars. They're identified as cars.
I was also actively looking specifically during where all the campers were, looking to see if any of them were duplicates. I actively sought out duplicates, and I could not find one. So I was like, oh, okay, sweet. So, like, it's no longer, like, the Hunchback of Notre Dame, where there's, like, 3 people doing 3 things, and they have them just, like, things like that. Like, they all were, like, almost individualized. And I think that's really cool. Lightning McQueen has 14 different paint variants throughout the movie. Ranging from subtly different amounts of dirt and dust to the completely new paint jobs near the end of the film. Like, he had 14 different variations of Lightning McQueen depending on how clean he was, how dirty he was, and like what was new versus not new. And I thought that was very interesting too.
I like how you can see his character change physically too.
Yeah.
Like him going from the spoiled rich boy who has everything he ever wants to the humble, I'm going to call him a celebrity, the humble celebrity where like he still has his fame and his fortune, which is something that I freaking love about this movie, is that they let the good guy just win.
Yeah.
They just let him win.
Yeah.
Because it could have been really easy to have Chick, he won the race, so he gets the thing, the sponsorship, and like Lightning really learns that it's friendship all along.
Right.
But they don't sign Chick, and they ask Lightning, like, hey, do you want it? Because it was a measure of his character. It wasn't that he didn't care about the race.
Right.
Whoever won. It was fun. It was exciting. Cool. He stopped, and he went, and he helped him.
Yeah.
He helped the king. He didn't have to do that, but we're gonna finish this race together, and that connected with who he was on his journey, but B connected with Doc and what he told them about how this whole world chews you up and spits you out when you're not worth anything anymore, and the fact that not only did he do that, they offered him the sponsorship. He turned it down because, well, these guys were here for me when I was a nobody. And he's like, I get it. It wasn't like, well, you're throwing away the deal of a lifetime, kid. You're such an idiot. Yeah. It was, well, if there's anything I can ever do for you, let me know.
Right. Well, and like to kind of not rub it in Doc Hudson's face, obviously not, but like to basically prove to Doc, like, no, I can be a good person, and a race can be worth it in more than one way, too.
Well, I can be the change.
I can be the change.
I can be the bigger person. I can. It's not all about it's just an empty cup.
Right.
It doesn't really matter. I might not have won the race, but I won the battle. You know what I mean? I didn't cross the finish line first, but I won the trophy. You know, kind of thing. Or I didn't win the trophy, but I won the race. As a kid, you know, really, I just didn't get into this. You know, it
Right.
just wasn't my thing. But as a grown adult, I resonate with it more, and I can definitely see why this movie has 2 sequels. You know, like
Yeah.
one of them is the cash grab with the
Yeah.
funny character, and then the other one I think is a more like sequel because Lightning loses a race terribly, and then like becomes a mentor for the next generation kind of thing. That's
Yeah.
what they do with him. And I haven't finished it, so I don't know where that ends.
Yeah, we'll have to watch that one.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't think I've seen Cars 2 or Cars 3.
Cars 2 is fun. It doesn't matter if it's a good movie or not. It is a freaking blast to watch.
Okay. All right.
Mater is a spy, and the spy stuff is so over the top, James Bondy, almost Austin Powers comedic, that it doesn't matter. Oh, okay, he ate a bunch of wasabi. Oh, haha. It's still funny.
Right.
It's still got all these colors and all this action. There's still the racing going on. It's just not the focus. You got this Finn McMissile character. Like, what is this? Like, it's just fun.
Love.
It's fun to be fun. It doesn't, and this is a thing. Like, I love old, corny horror movies more than I love modern horror movies because you can have fun with it. Like, I'm not afraid of a skeleton on a stick.
Right.
But there's a charm to it that we're allowed to have just fun times with. You can't watch Hereditary and have a fun time.
I mean, unless you're me.
Unless you're you.
I apparently have a problem, and it's
Like-
that I can watch horror movies and be like, this is nice.
Well, but like we watch the Terrifier movies, and
Mm-hmm.
I had to keep watching them because what is so great about these movies?
Well, we had to get through them.
But I had a
finish
fun
it off.
time watching
But
art be goofy.
Yeah, but I had a good time.
You know, like everything else about those movies where I can take or leave, but like he's charming enough to make me want to watch him again. Like the whole, and I hated this. I hated everything about it when I saw like the cosplays or the images and the funny pictures and the memes of Art with the glasses on, the flower glasses, and he's doing the thing. I was like, that's so stupid. But then I saw it and I'm like, that is brilliantly stupid.
It's perfect.
Because the guy doesn't know he's a murderer. She knows he's a murderer. And instead of doing like the Michael Myers thing, he's kind of doing a Freddy Krueger thing where he's being he's making a joke. And you're like, oh my, your heart's like,
You're
oh, he's going to
stressed
kill
out,
me.
But
But
this other
like,
person's like, whatever.
yeah, like, I don't believe in you. I believe in you. Like, it's
cheesy.
self-aware humor. I don't know. It was really good. And that's what Cars 2 is. It's almost like it knows what it is. So it's
Okay.
just like, just have fun.
It knows it's a sequel, so it's going to act like a sequel.
Yeah, like they throw it all at the wind.
Heard.
It's a sequel. I think it was a direct-to-DVD sequel.
Oh, could have been.
So, like, it doesn't have to meet... like the Cinderella 3, where the king's like... You're not going to take another step down these stairs. And Prince Charming's like, okay. And jumps out the window.
Right.
Where's the writers on that movie not doing the first... You know what I mean?
100%.
Like, you just having fun with it. Like, you don't have to take it seriously. You've got a good story. You know, like, whatever I don't even remember the plot of the movie, but like... evil car scientist is gonna he's killing cars, like he's torturing and killing cars.
Oh,
and our hero car is gonna stop him, like classic spy stuff.
okay.
But then
yeah.
you throw Mater in there, and Mater's got to be a spy now. Shenanigans is gonna happen,
Yep.
and because Mater's so likable, you just kind
You're
of
gonna have a
having a
good
fun time. I don't know, but then Cars 3 I think takes the Rocky Balboa. Not the Creed approach, where they put Rocky in the backseat training the new guy
Heard.
who will, go the distance kind of thing,
Okay.
which is a cool concept. I do like those kind of movies.
Yeah.
Part of me wishes we got more of that. I like the torch-bearing stuff, and they can all be the same so long as they do it in their own style and they're not just identical. I think it works because that's all it is. But Cars, I think, I did not get bored with it. I did not like, oh my God, how much time we have left of this. It was
Right.
It was a good experience. And like, It's got a lot of good messages. It's got a lot of good morals to it, and a plethora of Easter eggs. Apparently.
Yeah. It just doesn't. It doesn't end. It doesn't stop. There's a million of them.
You pointed out the A113
yes.
on the front of the train.
Front of the train.
I didn't see the ball.
I'm actually looking up the ball right now because I don't know that it's in Cars 1.
But I thought the last time we said it's the only movie without the ball.
Well, that's why I'm looking, because I'm pretty sure that it should be in. Let me look. Hang on. Keep talking about stuff.
Okay. John Ratzenberger's, of course, Mac. The movie's soundtrack in this, I think originally when we did The Bug's Life, I went through Randy Newman movies, and I said he didn't do this because a lot of the music in this movie is kind of like pop music. But he did a lot of the score for this movie, which I 100% kind of picked up on because Randy Newman's Toy Story music, when you hear Toy Story, you kind of know his signatures, kind of like John Williams. Like you can sit somebody down in a room and know it's going to be Hans Zimmer or John Williams just by how the music is composed. It is John Williams has a very whimsical and magical way of composing music that like it is specifically him. Like that's what I'm saying. Like it's his signature is felt throughout it. Like when you hear Paul McCartney singing, it's nobody else but Paul McCartney. Right. When you hear Eddie Van Halen shredding on the guitar, it's nobody else but Eddie Van Halen. Even if somebody else was to do it, as a cover, like you can tell, oh, he's covering Eddie Van Halen. That's how distinct these composers are. And I really guess that our time doesn't take the time to identify and appreciate that, because to us, a composer like Beethoven or Bach, they all kind of sound the same. But the composers of our time, Newman and who's the Elfman and Williams and Zimmer, like they all have a very distinct
like style
that separates them all, and they really can move you. Like when you listen to The Lion King, Hans Zimmer composed the music for The Lion King, and he also did like The Dark Knight, but they're two completely different tonally, musically composed movies, but there's something about the way how long notes last or how long the music takes to swell that it's him.
Yeah.
It's only him.
I agree.
And that's why, like, when I was listening to the music in this, the score specifically, when you see a lot of the mountains in Radiator Springs, like, it's almost as if the camera's going to pan down and you're going to see Buzz and Woody.
Right.
It's just who he is. Like, he sounds like Toy Story.
Right.
John Williams sounds like Star Wars or Indiana Jones or Harry Potter even.
Right.
Like... They are these things, and it's an art that I really don't feel like gets appreciated enough.
I agree.
Because, and maybe it's just that I cannot write music, I can't read music, that I do have an appreciation for just what these people can bring. Because, like, this is an animated movie about cars. Like, it's a very visual movie, so you have to find a way to complement and enrich these scenes, and they do it in such a way that is unmatched,
right,
in my opinion. I don't think any of them are, you know what I mean? Like, you can't really sub them out.
No, I agree. 100%.
Like how Alan Menken, who did a lot of the early Disney Renaissance stuff, it sounds like there's a sound to him, but I wouldn't swap the soundtrack for Hunchback that he did with Hans Zimmer. Like, it just wouldn't.
Right.
I don't think it would work.
Don't think it would slap as hard.
Yeah, like it's like he got it. He spent time with the material, and they just became one with the art. They're artists. Like, these are artists. They're crafters of dreams.
I agree. Well,
we are the music makers. We are the dreamers of dreams. That's what this is. That's what Pixar and Disney used to be. And man, I hope they get back to it, dude. I really, 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 really do.
Me too.
For the sake of our generations to come. Like, breathe that life back into that air. I don't really like Finding Nemo, right? But, like, it's got such a distinct breath that, like, what are you going to do?
Right.
Like, there's nothing like this.
There isn't. It's so... Anyway, we're not talking about Finding
Even
Nemo.
the sequel, there's nothing like this.
It's so good.
No
Luxo ball. Whack.
Was the Luxo ball in Finding Nemo in the waiting room? Because that's where I
Pretty
think
sure,
we...
yes.
Or was it A113 that wasn't in Finding Nemo?
A113 was in Finding Nemo.
Where was it?
It was on the camera when he took the picture.
There was one of these things.
No,
I feel like we said.
The Pizza Planet truck.
The Pizza Planet
is in
truck.
everything but The Incredibles.
Which I feel like is a giant missed opportunity.
I mean, there's so many.
Where was it here?
He showed up in the background of one of the interviews, and his name's Todd. Like, he's sentient. He's like a car. Like everybody else.
He's a Pizza Planet delivery truck. So they eat pizza?
Yeah, literally, like, where is it? The Pizza Planet delivery truck was shown in every Pixar film except The Incredibles. Appears before the final race, next to the Elvis camper in the left background behind Bob Cutlass. He also appears during Life is a Highway sequence at a Dynaco station, reproducing how the truck appeared in Toy Story at a Dynaco gas station.
Cool.
Because Dynaco is also the Toy Story gas station.
Yeah, I like that. And by and large, from WALL-E, I think shows up somewhere else too.
And his name's Todd, by the way. The Pizza Planet truck's name is Todd.
Is that a reference to his voice actor, animator, or to
It
Fox
literally
and
just said, due to it being in the Cars world, the truck was called Todd.
Fair enough.
So that's his name.
Fair enough.
But no Luxo ball in this one. A113 is on the train.
It.
Well, so the Luxo ball shows up in the third one.
Where'd they put it?
On the front of a car. Not like the ball itself, but like the design
You know
of
what
the ball.
they could have done?
It was at like a demolition derby. And one of the messed up cars has it like right on his face.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You know what they should have done? Is one of Ramon's colors. Should have been the Luxo ball colors.
During Life is a Highway, the birds from For the Birds can briefly be seen sitting on a telephone wire.
Cute. The short for this was Mater and the Ghost Light.
Love that one.
This movie was also the first. I think it's the first Pixar movie to be released on Blu-ray.
Oh, love.
Hang on, let me pull that back up because I thought that was really interesting because we talk about home releases for this stuff all the time. And it was released on VHS and DVD. It was released like literally a year later on Blu-ray. On November 6th, 2007, it was released on Blu-ray, and it was the first Pixar film to be released on Blu-ray with Ratatouille and the first collection of the Pixar shorts.
Love.
Which I have both of those upstairs. I don't have Cars.
What's the first movie to ever be released on Blu-ray?
Let me look that up.
In the meantime, the snowman from Knick Knack is seen in the snow globe at Lizzie's Curious Shop.
That's interesting.
And a camper is seen. I guess there's an image of a camper that has the jackalope from Boundin on his back. Two trucks at the top-down truck stop have Mr. Incredible's trademark red dotted lowercase I on their trailers.
So, according to this, the first... Also, this movie, Cars, beat out X-Men 3.
Oh, cool.
And a couple other ones. The first... Because also, they were having a battle. There was a battle for the high definition. There was HD DVD,
okay,
and there was Blu-ray.
That's right. Okay, so what was the first Blu-ray?
And I remember this because I got Billy Madison and Happy Gilmore for my birthday one year for my brother on HD DVD, and you can only play HD movies on an HD DVD player.
Oh, annoying.
And you go, Blu-rays had a Blu-ray player too. I didn't have one of those.
Right.
I think we had a Blu-ray. Like Dad had a Blu-ray player. Hecubus had a Blu-ray player, and it wouldn't play it. But the first Blu-ray disc titles were released June 20th in 2006, and they were 50 First Dates.
Interesting.
The Fifth Element.
Oh, heck yeah.
Hitch. House of Flying Daggers. Underworld Evolution. Triple X, the Terminator, is the last one there.
Huh.
Which is kind of cool because I remember when they were advertising Blu-ray on, probably on cars, and they had like the pirate boat from, I want to say it was Curse of Black Pearl, and they would do the swipe, and they just have movie scenes where it would swipe, and like the picture was so much better.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
John Carter, I think, when he's about to fight the tiger, it's like, it's really cool. And they're like, and then you can do Blu-ray live and talk to the director, talk to other people as we're watching the movie. It's like, how did that work? That was something we never had, and I do kind of wonder how that
would have worked. Yeah.
But also, and I think this is what kicked it over, is that the PlayStation 3 had a Blu-ray player in it.
Got it.
So it pushed
that
hard.
That makes sense.
And yeah, they just outsold HD DVD by a lot, and the rest is history. But Blu-ray is a laser. Like it's a really cool how they do it. Anyway, back to what we're talking about. Back to basics. Like there used to be a whole like cleaning thing. You'd have to put a cleaning disc in.
I remember that.
There's a whole thing.
The olden days.
Yeah. And like it's interesting that it's just revolutionary technology. Like that a laser goes around as this spins, kind of like a reverse turntable. And well, I guess it's an upside down turntable because the laser's gonna read the disc. Like there's like that stuff like what's the word, like componenty kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's just microscopic inside this disc that just encodes all this information that the laser reads and then puts it out. It's so wild how this technology works. It's insane.
It is. It's pretty sick.
You bring Benjamin Franklin to 2026.
He'd have a heart attack and die.
And you're like, sit down, Ben. You're going to watch Jurassic Park in 4K. He's going to be, right, let's dump tea into the harbor. And then we'll watch that, and he's like, holy shit!
He'll...
He's from Boston. He probably said, oh my God, Lois!
Goodness gracious.
But no, yeah. So Cars, I have to sing its praise. I have to.
Well, I mean, it's gorgeous. At the very least, it is a beautiful movie.
Bare
minimum.
At the bare minimum. I don't think I have a lot more to talk about this specifically, so I think we should wrap it up here.
Well, let me finish my Easter eggs, and then I will.
Yes, please.
All right. There's a white car with the Apple logo in the first race.
Steve Jobs was still around for
Yep,
this?
Steve Jobs was still around for that.
Well, still around in Pixar, I believe.
Correct.
Like, he didn't leave the company
That's
yet.
what it says, yes.
Okay.
The neon lights on top of the canopy at Flo's V8 Cafe are the same pattern for the 1932 Ford V8 Flathead.
Cool.
Let's see.
Oh, and every one of these cars is a real car.
One of the cars in the first race, called Claude Scruggs, is sponsored by Leakless, a bottle of Leakless fuel as seen in WALL-E.
Cool.
First Pixar film to be released in June. Not really sure why that matters, but it is funny that it's on here. Let's see. THX certified.
Mm-hmm.
The only Cars film that is.
Well.
The scene where the race announcers are talking about the popularity of the secondary race, it says that the whole town of Emeryville is closed for the race. Emeryville is the location of Pixar Studios. Let's see. There was one
I'd like
more.
to tour there.
Oh, when they do the aerial view of the stadium for the second race, you can see like the Pixar building.
Oh, cool.
It's in one of the background areas. And then, this is the last one I have. There are a total of 21,566 lights in the 4 different shots when Lightning McQueen and Mac first get on the road to California.
Wow.
Whack.
Wow.
Just a ridiculous number of lights. I think that's all I have that isn't just like really obvious stuff where it's like referencing, oh, may Doc have mercy on your soul, is a reference to the quote, may God have mercy on your soul from the Green Mile. Like, okay. We hear you. Like, that's fine. But that, yeah, just a ton of different cameos, a ton of different people, a great film. You know, like, yeah, I think I enjoy it more as an adult than I did as a kid. I mean, I never got into cars the same way you never got into cars, but I really enjoy the story for what it is, and I just like Pixar. So,
yeah.
You know, it takes a lot for me to not like a Pixar film, and Sentient Cars still made the cut for me, so I'll take it.
Well, yeah, so that'll be all we have to talk about today. Check us out on all social media platforms. We are the Grindhouse Podcast. I have been Cheese Film.
And I'm Wife of Cheese Film.
And this is, of course, the legendary, most radical, race-tacular Grindhouse Podcast. Cheese Film. Out.